Good day, everyone. My name is Ambesiwe Madolwana, and I'm going to be your presenter for today. Today, we are going to be talking about how to create a digital marketing plan. I am not alone. I'm with my colleague, Mr. Mduduzi Mdebele, who will be our moderator for today. I would like to take this opportunity and welcome everyone on today's session. Now, Um, I would like everyone to familiarize themselves with the chat box as we'll be using it for today's session for communication purposes. If you have questions, comments, anything that you'd like to raise, please feel free to use the chat box and I will be attending to your questions and comments. Now, let us look on today's agenda. What are we expecting on today's session? By the end of today, firstly we will introduce you to digital marketing. After introducing you to digital marketing, we will help you build your marketing plan. And then lastly, we will harness the power of digital advertising. By the end of today's session, you will know what digital marketing is and why it's so useful for businesses. Also, we'll know how you can devise your very own digital marketing plan. And lastly, we'll know the top tips for harnessing the power of digital advertising. Google offers a free bootcamp. If you own a small business and you are ready to scale, all you need to do is sign up for Google Hustle Academy at the following link shown on my screen. If you own a small business and that you are ready to scale, all you need to do is just sign up at Google Hustle Academy at the following link shown on my screen. Now, for today's session, we have a question. Our first question for today's session is, how do you currently engage with customers? How do you engage with your customers currently? I use social media and word of mouth. That is currently working for me. That is what I use, social media and word of mouth. So I would like to know, how do you engage with your customers currently? Please feel free to use the chat box to write your responses, and I will be looking at them. Now, let us introduce you to digital marketing. We have another question for today. What is digital marketing, or what do you think digital marketing is? Please use the chat box to answer questions and to raise comments and concerns. What is digital marketing, or what do you think digital marketing is? Digital marketing, it concentrates on using the wide range of online tools and technologies available, but for the focus should always be on understanding human behavior. Sorry for that. Marketers face new challenges in the digital marketplace, but they also have the opportunity to create personalized, relevant communication and content to develop deep relationship with customers based on interactions. So that what basically digital marketing is. We live in a mobile world, how we act and behave as humans. We have never been more connected to information, knowledge, and people. We have the answer to pretty much any questions at our fingertip. And we also have the power to do our own product research. That we have there are 747 million SIM connection in sub-Sahara Africa. 91% of South Africans own mobile phones, with 80% in Kenya and in Nigeria, respectively. Some 65% of the active mobile phone users in Nigeria have shopped online. Now, let us look at what opportunities might arise from connecting with customers online. What opportunities might you get from connecting with your customers? Please feel free to use the chat box to answer the questions. What opportunities might you get from connecting with your customers and online? There are lots of benefits to being online as businesses. To mention a few, let us look at the some of the opportunities you might get from being online. The first one is increased reach, followed by learn about your customers, and lastly, communicate and support. Those are the three benefits of being online that we'll be looking at. Now, we'll be looking at the key channels to consider for digital marketing. The first one is search engine optimization, and then search engine marketing, and then social media marketing, display marketing, email marketing, and lastly, content marketing. They will be blended together when we put our strategy together. Now, the key channels to consider for digital marketing, there are six key channels to consider for digital marketing. The first one is search engine optimization, where you're optimizing your website so it shows up more often in search engine. And with search engine marketing, you're paying for advertising to appear in search engines. And then with social media marketing, you use social networks to gain traffic, attention, and reach new people. And then with digital marketing, you use online advertising in many different formats on many websites across the internet. And then with email marketing, you collect and use email addresses to communicate with users. And lastly, with content marketing, that's where you'll be creating and sharing different types of content, such as blog posts, videos, guides, infographics, and also to attract attention and drive traffic. Before we move to the next session, I'd like to take a moment to answer to any questions you may have. Please post the questions in the chat box, and I'll be looking to your comments. Please feel free to use the chat box for any questions that you might have. Okay, I can see we have no to propose that we move to the next session. If there are no comments, then I would like us to move to the next session, which will be how to build your marketing strategy. Now we have introduced, I think by now you should know what digital marketing, or you have an idea of what digital marketing is. Now, we're moving to a session where we'll be building your digital marketing plan. Here on this session, we have 6 steps to build a digital marketing plan. The first step is you need to have business goals and objective, followed by a budget and resourcing. And the third step is you need to know your audience. And then the picking channels, followed by your planning your activity, and lastly we will be measuring the SMART objective. The first one is to introduce the first one is to build goals and objectives. How to build goals and objectives. Now we're looking at business goals and objectives. What are your what you want to achieve? We are looking at your business goals. What is it that you want to achieve? As we all know that successful business are based on both goals and objectives, and you need to clarify the purpose of your business, and you need to identify the necessary actions. And goals are general statements of desired achievement, while your objectives are the specific steps or action you take to reach your goals. Now let us look at here we have Mondli, who is a hairdresser. Mondli owns a hairdressing business, and then his business goals are to get more customers through his door and make people in his local area know his business exists. Now we're looking at examples of online objective. You need to set your objectives with an online focus. And then to give you a few examples of online objectives where Umondli could have reached his business goals is his increased traffic to websites, increase online sales, and is to increase social media page likes or follows, and also to increase online reach and awareness. Those are the examples of online objectives. Now, your online objectives, they should align with business goals. As we have mentioned, your online objectives, they are how you reach your business goals. So they should align with each other. They should align naturally. With online objectives, you increase online reach and awareness, and also increase website sales and increase social media pages, likes and follows from customers, and you also increase traffic website. That we are here using the example of Mondli, the hairdresser. Those are his online objectives, and his business goals are to make more people aware that he exists, and he wants to sell more products, and he wants to be found by more people and get more customers returning. And then we're looking at the second step. The second step is budget and resources. You look at what is possible with what you have. When you budget, you look at what you have and what you can do with what you have. So what is possible? You give yourself an honest statement about what your challenges are. For example, in Mondli's statements, he's saying that he doesn't have a website as it is too much of an investment right now. So that is one of Mondli what the challenge that he is currently facing in his business, that he doesn't have a website and that it is too much of an investment right now. So you need to be honest with yourself and look at what is possible with what you have, and not have a low budget with high goals. We're not saying it's wrong to have high goals, but you need to also be realistic and look at your budget. And then we look at the audience. Who is your audience, or what are your audience or the target people for your business? You need to think about who your target audience are. Let us look at Moise's audience. He is saying, as I quote, "I am targeting females in my local area. My most valuable customers are females above 30 years old. They normally have children and work, plus they work part-time. Most of them use Facebook." So that is the target audience for the hairdresser. He is targeting females 30 years, and they have children, and most of them they use Facebook. So you need to be sure of who your target market is. You need to know the gender, the age, and what social media they use. With that, when you know that information, you can never go wrong with your target audience. And then we look at step 4, where we'll be looking at marketing channels. Where are you going to get your customers, or where are you going to market your business? Now, let us look at marketing channels. Not all marketing channels will suit your business goals. You need to consider which channels work best for you. You do this by using your online objectives. You need to go back through the online objectives that you did, and then that's when you can know which marketing channel you can use. Now we look at planning your activities, which is step 5. How to plan your activity. We'll look at the example of Mondli's, the hairdresser. He is saying, as I quote, "My online objectives are to reach more people in my local area and get more returning customers. I don't have a website yet, as it's too much of an investment right now. How could I use digital to help me?" Well, looking at this statement, here's how we could approach his challenges strategically. You can list your business on Google Business Profile and create free website. Google offers a free website if you have a Google Business Profile. You can set up a Facebook page, collect reviews, and post pictures and customer hairstyles. Also, he can use Facebook advertising to target people in his local area with an offer to attract new customers. That is how he can plan his activities. And lastly, we look at how to measure the SMART. Now let us look at what are SMART objectives. SMART objectives, they help us to set goals that we are more likely to succeed in and achieve. Instead of plucking ideas out of thin air, the SMART acronyms, they give us more structure, where S stands for specific. You need to know what exactly do you want to achieve, who and what, when and where and how. You need to give your goal as much details and thoughts as possible. And then we look at M, where M stands for measurable. How will you know the goal has been achieved? What metrics shows success? You need to know if your goal is measurable. And then we look at A, which is achievable. Do you have the skills for this goal that you want? Do you have time? Do you have resources to turn this goal into reality? You need to look at those things. And then we look at R, which stands for realistic. You need to ask yourself, is the goal likely to be achieved or is just a mere dream? You need to be realistic with yourself. And lastly, we look at the T, which is stand for time bound. When do you want to complete the goal, and what is the time frame or the end date in mind? Giving goal a date will ensure that you're motivated and you continuously moving forward. So now that we know smart goals are, let us try setting some smart goals. Setting smart objectives help you measure the success of your activity. Now, looking at the example that we used before of the hairdresser, let's look at the objectives first. The objectives are the broad objectives. They are to increase online sales and to increase brand awarenesses. And SMART objectives are measurable, actionable objectives. They are how you reach your broader objective. To increase online sales by 20% within 3 months. Also, to increase a brand awareness on Facebook by growing our audience with new people by 40%. Now, let us look at digital marketing plan. Um, we're gonna use the same example of the hairdresser. Now we're gonna look at the business goals. The business goal for the hairdresser is to reach more people in his local area and get more customers through his door. That is the business goal for the hairdresser. And then we look at the audience. The audience, he is targeting females 39 to 45, and then that lives in the local area, and then past customers. And then we look at the channel. He is planning to use the local SEO and Facebook. And the activity that he wants to use is to build a website and boost visibility on Google and use Facebook advertising to target people in his local area. That is the activity for the hairdresser. And then we look at online objective. His online objective is increase online reach and also increase returning customers. And then lastly, we look at the SMART objective, which is increase Facebook page likes from new people by 50% within the next month, and also increase booking from past customers by 20% in the next quarter. So that is the digital marketing plan for Monly the hairdresser. He has managed to run through all the 6 steps of creating digital marketing plan. Now, I would like to take this moment and take questions from you from what we have covered so far. Please feel free to use the chat box of any questions that you might have on what we have covered, or any comments or any concerns. I'll be looking at your questions and responding to them as they come. Right, I see we don't have any comments or questions, meaning that we are still together, we are still moving on the right track. Now, let us move to the last section where we'll be harness the power of digital advertising, which is our last session for today. Now, we'll first get started with SEM, which is search engine marketing. As you see on my screen, this is the search engine results page. The appearance of the results page adapts to the search that is made, but it contains three main things. The first thing you'll notice in the search query is that what someone has typed in Google. And then the results are then shown as either ads or organic listings. Ads are paid listings that appear above the organic listings. Sponsored or ad icon appears next to these. Also, organic listings are sites that appear after ads. These have been optimized to appear at the top of the search. Now we look at a process for search engine marketing. We have 4 steps to process search engine marketing. The first one is to understand your customers. This is what makes everyone and everything else to happen. And secondly, you need to find keywords. We need to brainstorm good keywords to bid on that might be relevant to our target audience. And thirdly, we need to create ad copy. Because in order to create good ads, we need to understand what our target customers want. And lastly, we need to put it all together. Well, this might sound intimidating, but it's really simple, and we're going to take you through each step on how to compile a process for search engine marketing. Let us look at search engine marketing versus search engine optimization. Search engine optimization in itself is free, which of course is the main benefit of it. You pay nothing to search engines like Google. You rank based on relevancy to the search query. And then whereas with SEM, it's where you pay, but only when someone actually clicks on your ad. So if your ad serves 10 times, but it's only clicked on once, you only pay once. We optimize by sending relevancy signal to the likes of Google based on our web pages, incoming links, and other factors like reviews. With SEM, we just choose the keyword and bid, so it's much easier to be visible for important keywords than SEO. SEO can take a lot of time depending on the nature of competition and the type of search query you're trying to rank for. For example, ranking on the first page for pizza might take months. However, ranking for pizza restaurant in Nairobi might only take few weeks, as it's more specific and there will be lesser competition overall. I hope we are still moving together. I'm not leaving anyone behind. Now, let us look on how to get started with search engine optimization. Let's start with the organic listing in search. The method used to boost your visibility on a search engine is called search engine optimization. This process really involves helping Google understand your web pages and creating an experience that is relevant to your website, visitors, and customers. Now, how to get started. Google Search Console is a free tool that can help tell you more accurately and learn how you rank on Google search. It helps identify if there are any issues or errors in your website that will make it hard for Google rank you highly. Next, you should consider submitting a sitemap to help Google bots understand the struggle of your site. This is when it comes to being indexed. Google understand how your sites links together. And next, you look into creating valuable content that your users really want. Google really values useful and fresh content that helps its users find what they are looking for. Search engine optimization tips for success. Now we look at search engine optimization tips for success. The first one is to run keyword research. You need to conduct keyword research. You need to discover and understand what words or phrases people are looking for when they are searching for products and services related to your business. The title and meta description that are important because they are both used by search engines to generate the actual search result for their specific page. And also the title is used to generate the first line shown. The meta description is used to generate the few short sentences that follow. And secondly, you need to publish useful, high quality content and understand your customers and optimize your content to suit their needs. It is very important to understand and know your customers so that you can know what their needs are. And lastly, you need to make web page searches friendly. On page optimization or changes you can make on your website's individual page can quickly help search engines better understand your content. And also, please don't try to speed up the process by trying sneaky techniques like stuffing your web pages with keywords that can make you lose customers. Now that we have a look at search ad, let's explore display advertising, which we are known as display ads. Display ads are typically visual contents that are displayed on a variety of publisher sites, like a poster or a flyer, but they are digital. Display ads, they come in all shapes and sizes. There are different ad formats available, like text ads, image ads, video ads, and ads across mobile websites. With visual ads can be more effective in getting people to click as they often more eye-catching and stand out. How is display advertising different from search advertising? Please, I would like to hear from you your views. What do you think is the difference between display ad and search advertising? How are they different? What do you think is the difference between the two, the display advertising and search advertising? Please feel free to use the chat box to give us your response on what do you think is the difference, or how are they different, the display advertising, and how is it different to search advertising? Now let us look at the two difference between search and display. The big difference is your display ads might seen almost everywhere on the internet, but your search ad will be limited to search engines like Google and will be text links, not image ads. So that is the difference between search. Display ads, they might be seen almost anywhere on the internet, but with search ads, you will be limited to search engines like Google and will be only text, not images. Search is focused around addressing search queries. The likelihood to generate sales is higher as you understand exactly what the user's searching for. Whereas with display advertising, we don't have as clear understanding of what the user is interested in, as we serving ads against the content that they viewing. For examples, we have an examples of Yufu's Italian restaurant might want to show a banner ad on the food section of the Kenya Time, but build local awareness. Now let us look at a process for display advertising. We have 4 steps of display advertising. The first one is to understand your customers, because this is what makes everything else happens. And you also need to find keywords. You also need to find keywords to bid on that might be relevant to your target audience. Also, you need to create ad copy. In order to create goods ads, you need to understand what your target customers wants. And lastly, you need to put all it together. What is social advertising? As you can see, we have, if we're moving clockwise, we have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we have LinkedIn, we have Snapchat, and lastly, we have YouTube. And you might already have a presence on these platforms, but advertising allows you to find these hard to reach potential customers. Why should we use social advertising? Why should we use social advertising? With social media advertising, it allows you to target and retarget ideal customers. With sophisticated targeting capabilities, social media platforms like Facebook, they help you target your ideal buyers, which allows you to drive more relevant traffic to your site. This is the best way to get the most out of your marketing spend. People are on social media. Most people are on social media, and you get a chance to increase brand recognition. You divert traffic to your site, and you reach specific target audience on different social media sites. Target and retarget ideal customers, and it's cheap and cost effective, and in many cases it is free, and you generate the leads. Now, another question for today is, what are the main differences between organic and paid social media? What do you think are the main differences between the two, paid and organic social media? I'll be looking at your responses in the chat box. What do you think are the main differences between the two? Now, let us look at the main differences between organic social media versus the paid social media. With organic social media, the views, the actions, or the clicks from posts are free. And then the content, it appears on your business profile and in people's news feeds. Also, you can reach only your followers and friends of followers. Whereas with paid social media, you pay for your views, actions, or clicks from posts or ads. Also, your ads can appear in more places and you can reach anyone. People don't have to follow you. So those are the differences between organic social media and paid social media. Now, let us look at the process for social media advertising. What is the process? We have 4 steps if the process of social media, which is the first one is you choose objective. You choose your audience, you create and be creative, and you set your budget. That is the 4 steps of social media advertising. You've heard a lot from me today. Before we finish the session, I'd like to take a few minutes to answer any questions you may have. Please post them in the chat box, and I'll be gladly responding to your questions, comments, and concerns. Right. I can see that we don't have any questions, any comments, and any concerns, meaning that we are still moving together, we are still on the right track, and I'm hoping that everyone understands everything that I have said. I am not leaving anyone behind. If you have any questions, please don't be afraid to write the questions on the chat box, and I will be gladly responding to your questions on whatever we have covered so far. Before we move to the next session, I would like to hear those questions. If there's anything that you need clarity on, or that you did not understand properly, or you did not hear me well when I was explaining I would gladly go back to wherever you have a concern or question and then explain it again to you. So please feel free to use the chat box, bringing in questions. Okay, I can see that we don't have any questions, meaning everyone is still with me, understanding every step that we have went through. And now, if you have a small business and you are ready to scale, Google is offering a free bootcamp available. It is absolutely free of charge. All you need to do is just sign up for Google Hustle Academy at the link shown on my screen. You just need to go to the link and then press the sign up button, and then you'll be getting the free bootcamp available from Google, which is for small businesses and people who are ready to scale with their businesses. This is a very great opportunity because it is absolutely free of charge. Other businesses they charge a fee for such sessions. So it will be very wise of you to take the opportunity of signing up for bootcamp. Um, After today's session, I would like to know what is that one thing you will do or change following this session? What is it that you will implement first in your business? Now that we have had ways of creating a digital marketing plan, um, what will be your next steps? What will you what just after this section, going back to your business? What is that one thing that you will do or you will change in your business? I would like to hear those thoughts and those things that you will implement after today's session. Please use the chat box to let us know after today's session what is it that you will change in your business. Um, you can find us on social media. We are available on Facebook at Digital Skills for Africa. We are also available on Twitter as Digital Skills AF and on Instagram. We are Digital Skills AF. If you would like to hear more about our upcoming session as well as digital tips and tricks, you can follow Google Digital Skills Africa on Facebook, Instagram, on Twitter, on the shared links on my screen, and I believe they will be also on the chat box. They will be shared by my moderator. Thank you all for coming today. You have sacrificed your time. You have joined today's session. Thank you very much for joining today's session. And we hope that you have learned a lot and you'll go back to your businesses and you'll implement whatever you have learned here today. I believe now more businesses they will be creating digital marketing plans. Thank you very much for your time.